You have studied in the previous class in the transpiration about the guard cell and the stomata. So, this is the typical structure of the two guard cell under which the chloroplast are present. You can see on the guard cell the chloroplast are present, and the next cells which are present marked with yellow color are epidermal cell, that is the cells which are present nearby, and it contains a small pore like structure which is known as stroma. So this particular structure is present in the epidermal layer of the leaves, and they are responsible for photosynthesis. Now let us see what are the two theories given for the opening and closing of the stomata. The two theories which are regarded for the opening and closing of stomata are, first one is given in your book is sugar concentration theory. Another one is potassium ion concentration theory. Now according to the sugar concentration theory, what is given is during the daytime this guard cell photosynthesize, that is this guard cell photosynthesize, and what happens, they become, and the cells produce sugar. These cells, the guard cells, produce sugar and they become turgid, and this causes opening of the stomata. While in potassium ion concentration theory, what is given? That due to increase of potassium ion concentration inside the guard cell causes stomata to open. The major thing is given in your book. You read it once, and this is all about this two concentration theory. I will not talk about this in detail. You can read it from your book itself. We had talked about the two mechanism or two phases of photosynthesis, mainly the light independent phase and the light dependent phase. Light dependent phase and light independent phase, which are also known as light dependent phase, is also known as the light phase, and light independent phase is also known as the dark phase. Other names of this are also given. I'll come across this. Now we first will, the one which is mentioned in your syllabus is only the light dependent phase, that is the light reaction phase. Light independent phase, that is the dark reaction, is not mentioned in your syllabus, so we'll discuss about this later, but first we'll talk about light dependent phase, that is the light phase. See, the light dependent phase of the light reaction is also known as Hill reaction or the photochemical reaction. It takes place in the thylakoid of the chloroplast. This one takes place in the thylakoids of the chloroplast, and this light independent phase or dark phase, it takes place in the stoma of the chloroplast. Now this one we are talking about, so we'll see about this. So this basically takes place in the thylakoids of the chloroplast. What happens, the chlorophyll which is present on exposure to the light, what happens, this chlorophyll absorbs the light energy, and the light energy which is absorbed, that is in the form of quantum. We tell is as quantum. It is given in your book, you just see it. The energy which is absorbed is used in splitting of water molecules into hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. So basically what happens, light comes from the sunlight and the chlorophyll absorbs and gets excited, and it absorbs a lot of light energy, and what happens, the water which is absorbed by the roots, it is taken up by the leaves and by the chloroplast, and what happens, the splitting of the water molecules into H plus and OH minus ions, or OH we call it as hydrogen ion and another one is hydroxide ion. And what happens? It leads to splitting of water. Splitting of water in the presence of light is known as photolysis of water. You can see it in your book. And NADP picks up the hydrogen ion and is reduced to NADPH. You can see the full form in your book. It is given properly. This is a molecule which is taken up, and it is taken up by the hydrogen ion and it is reduced to the NADPH. And what happens? The molecular oxygen is released during the photosynthesis. I'll show you with the help of the equation. So I was talking about this photolysis. You can see how light is absorbed by the chlorophyll, and what happens? It leads to splitting of the water into hydrogen and oxygen, and it releases some amount of ATP. This light energy is then used to produce ATP and split water into the hydrogen and oxygen. The splitting of water in the presence of light is known as the photolysis of the water. You can see light energy is taken up by the chlorophyll and it causes a chemical reaction, and two things are formed in the stage 2. First, it is changing and going to the chlorophyll and it comes as a chemical energy, and then two things happens. ADP molecule, in ADP molecule the phosphate ion is added and it leads to production of ATP, that is the energy, and the water molecule splits up to become hydrogen and OH ions, that leads to further production of oxygen, and oxygen is released as a byproduct in this photosynthesis process. So that was all about the photolysis. Now we'll see how this photolysis and conversion of this all leads to production of oxygen and then finally interconversion of glucose and starch. As soon as the glucose is formed, several molecules of glucose are transformed to produce one starch, and this process is known as polymerization, which is not given in your book, but you should know this one. So several molecules of glucose leads to formation of one molecule of starch, and at night what happens? The starch is reconverted into soluble glucose, which is transported into other parts through the phloem. This process of transporting of sugar into different parts of the plant is known as the translocation, and it is done through the phloem. You should remember, children, that during the photosynthesis, the starch, the glucose which is formed, that is stored in the form of starch, but when it is transported in the plant, it is transported by the phloem in the form of glucose. Now let us see what are the different adaptations in leaves for photosynthesis. First is arrangement of the leaf.